Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yay!
Word up.
What's going on today?
We are... What?
Anything happening in the world or no?
Well, there's something happening that I'm not going to touch. And it is Vanessa... can you explain Vanessa Hudgens to me?
Baby V? I sure can. What do you need? What do you need help on with Baby V?
I went to her IMDb.
Yep.
Because I'm baffled at the fact that she's everywhere all the time. And we're always like, Vanessa Hudgens. And I'm like...
Baby V.
No, and I'm not going to call her that, obviously.
I'm going to call her that.
All over the Met Gala.
Yeah.
Oscars. I mean, she's everywhere. And I need her to be explained to me.
Okay, I got it. I can sum that up for you if you want it.
Please. And again, I did not want to get into this today.
Well, we are.
Because
I know that's the hot topic.
It's a hot button issue.
Everyone is talking about Baby V. Okay? Or another baby.
Why do you call her that?
Everybody calls her Baby V.
Just...
That's what we call her, okay? That's what we know her as. We grew up with her, damn it.
Guys, is that true?
Yeah, Baby V.
Well, you didn't watch High School Musical?
Come on. And they called her Baby V in that?
Yeah, dude, it's Baby V.
Okay.
Come on,
anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, it's a generation thing, guys, and I'm younger than her, and sometimes I have to go back and explain.
Right.
And I don't want to, but I have to because I'm a Zoomer and you are a Boomer. Nothing I can do about that, and I'm sorry.
Proud, but I'm
sorry.
I'm Gen X.
So, so Baby V's sitch is this. She was Hollywood royalty as far as like the teen idols go. So it was her and Zac Efron. That was the first couple of like Disney at the time. Those two were inseparable. Two of the greatest looking people together on the planet. And you're just like, oh my gosh. High School Musical ends. Their relationship ends. And then someone leaks her nudes. Now, her nudes were so spectacular that vaulted her into a plane of Bella Thornish to where it didn't really matter what she did acting-wise anymore. It was more or less about, oh, this girl's just crazy hot, and I don't really care. I'm going to follow her for that. Because to my knowledge, I'm not sure she's really doing that much acting-wise anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, I went IMDb. I mean, she was in Tick, Tick, Boom. But I went to IMDb, and I was like, I mean, the Oscars?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was Tick, Tick, Boom, I'm sure. But, I just don't.
She was in an Oscar-nominated movie. There's nothing you can do about that. But the two of them, I think, forever, her and Zac Efron, will live in this state of, what is Zac Efron? What does he do? I know he's got the fucking travel show. He does the travel show. That was so fucking boring. I came home. You, of all people who love documentaries more than life itself, are like, I can't watch this anymore. Shut this shit off.
It's unwatchable. But
it's unwatchable.
Now, it's not unwatchable because it's Zac Efron, which when I say he does a lot, like he does a lot for his body and his face and his hair and his just general
because he's great looking, right?
Hotness, yeah.
Correct.
And
Same
even
with,
when he's scruffy and even when he's traveling, like he's
God, you're proving my point.
But
right.
He's doing stuff.
She is doing stuff. She is in an Oscar-nominated film. He is in Australia, which let's face it, most
he's
males.
Dating normies, which I love.
Is he?
Yeah, he is famous for dating a normie.
I have a
waitress, a bartender.
I have a different theory on Zac Efron. I know a couple of big actors who just moved down to Australia to get away from their own sexuality. I can't confirm that. Okay.
To fuck kangaroos?
Yeah. And dudes.
Oh, wow.
No.
Dudes and kangaroos.
No,
What?
I have confirmation. He banged a bartender at Woodrow's.
Man
Thank you.
or woman?
A woman.
Woman.
Okay.
So he's not getting away because of his sexuality. He's getting away because he loves like a normal kind of partier.
He loves pussy?
Yeah, I love pussy.
He loves pussy.
No, but I think he doesn't want people knowing who he's hanging out with, and he likes to just like
That's true.
have them be so enamored with him. They do some coke, they drink.
I was
whatever
going to say,
it
so the one
is.
night I hung out with him, he was in my car, actually. I drove into a fucking party together, and I was like, oh, are you this fucked up? Because we went to the MTV Movie Awards. And I was like, are you this fucked up that you need a ride right now? Because it gets out early on the West Coast, and then you go to the parties, right? Let me tell you something. I have never seen a human ingest more cocaine than Zac Efron that night.
Yeah, but when was that, in the 80s?
08. It was the 08 because I lost that year.
It was the 080s.
Yeah, I lost the award.
In the 080s,
Yep.
coke was pretty prevalent.
Still prevalent
and
now.
even in 08.
It's still prevalent now. Coke has never gone out of style. I'm going to go ahead and say that with conviction today.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's ever had a down period. The only difference now is you have to worry about fentanyl, but I guess we were worried about baby laxative back in the day, and you're shitting your pants, but that's kind of still around as well.
A little
so.
different, I'd say,
Yeah.
as far as the risk.
Yeah, but would you rather shit yourself or die? I'd rather die, I think, than shit myself.
God.
That's too much.
Anyways,
The cleanup is too much. I'd rather just die. Altogether. But so everything you described about Zac Efron, it's the same with Baby V, where she looks great messy. She's kind of a hippie sometimes. And she says weird shit all over Instagram and then has to delete it and everything else.
Look,
so the two of them, here's my guess. The two of them will continue to stumble through life, and everybody will always care because they have not stopped being hot, both of them, where you're just like, all right, fine. And by the way, I'm fine with both of them, like continuing on their life and being hot. It's the ones like the Ezra Millers and shit where you're just like, dude, just OD. Like, just let's be done with life and get off this planet. We're all good with whatever fucking weird trip you're on. Whereas Zac Efron, I root for. Baby V, I root for. Even Britney to an extent where you're just like, God damn it. I mean, before Baby V and Zac Efron, it was Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears.
Right.
They were coming off that Disney train as well together, and that's how everyone took off. And I still root for Britney Spears. I just don't think that there's a return flight for her.
Right.
That's a one-way, and she's at her destination. She's not coming back from there.
Just real quick, speaking of the conservatorship queens,
Sure.
Amanda Bynes had a fun little weekend of taking to Instagram and showing how stable she was.
Yeah, and by the way, Boston Joe's saying $5 for the Uber ride to the hospital, and Jesse's water breaks live on air today. That is a great call because we don't know.
Yeah, and you're not coming, so
Yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
do
be
need
there.
to get an Uber.
I've
no,
got
on
a
the
meeting
last
tonight, so
yeah.
I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah, at the last show, we were like, who would be the person that was like least that you would not expect at all to go with me or to take me?
Delco.
And it was Delco, but he's like, that's going to be
I guessed
hard.
it.
Yeah, he's like, that's going to be kind of hard though because I don't have a car. So I was like, cool, now we're Ubering together with Delco.
Ugh,
Just me and him to the hospital, and he's just like,
gross.
you're still going to fucking have this thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is there any way we can make a pit stop and just get rid of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had to call the Uber driver called the police in D.C. So the cops came when I was getting my flight home, and that was fun. Uber's getting worse and worse.
They
and
called the
worse.
cops on you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I told him to. I was like, hey, great, call the fucking police.
Wait, what'd you do?
The guy took me to the wrong airport, and I was like, I looked up at the sign, and I was like, hey man, that's not the right one, brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's the other one. No. I was like, yeah. Look at the fucking thing. So he stops in the middle of the highway, calls the cops. There's nobody on the road because it was like 4:30 in the morning. And calls the police. The police show up to the fucking scene.
This is what it's like to travel with you.
It's a fucking nightmare. All of it's a nightmare. And So they come, and the guy's like, I don't understand. Why don't you just take him to the right place? So they wrote his number down and his other fucking shit and yanked this guy. And it's like, man,
The cop should have took you at that point.
they did.
To the airport?
Yes. Shout out to Officer O.J. Santiago, who took me to the airport.
That's a fake name, but that's
It's
okay.
not, but it is, well, at least that's what he told me.
Okay.
Either way, he drove me to the airport and was just like, yo, man, it's fucking nuts out here in these streets. And like, what's up? Let's go. And we were moving real nice. I just, with the Uber these days and everything, I don't know if you don't have a car, right?
No.
Not
He
really.
So are you Ubering?
one.
I'm kind of walking everywhere. Rob's driving me here.
Okay, so but have you taken an Uber in the last week? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, is it me or has it gotten crazy expensive?
It is. It really depends. They tried to. Uber's cheaper than Lyft. It seems, at least in Austin. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it depends on the time of day. There's like very few drivers. It's not great.
It's not great at all.
Yeah,
and the
'cause
people that are left, it's the bottom of the barrel. So it
Because
feels
they
like it just keeps getting worse.
They first tried to take the money from the drivers, right?
Yep.
If I've learned anything from Super Pumped.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that didn't work out, so now they're trying to take the money from people and keep,
Someone actually tried to play me his music while he was driving me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now he's your client, and you are...
Yeah, I get 20%.
Yeah.
You're a
now
music
you're
manager
his
now.
manager, yeah.
The next song is Wild Boy 89, and here's his hit song,
Oh, I've had that
Thunder
happen.
in the Dumpster.
I've had a lady...
I wish it was a mixtape.
Yeah.
Great.
It was some dude playing his guitar trying to make it sound like a saxophone. He's like, doesn't it sound like it? I'm like, yeah.
By the way, I'm in.
Craiger's
There's
just threw
a place for that.
Craiger's just threw a 50 in and said $5 definitely won't get you a mile down the road from Uber. Here you go. No shit, Craig. Like that is correct.
Jable's glowing. Don't forget the last part.
Oh, hashtag Jables is glowing. Okay.
I'll read it. That's fine.
Oh.
But Craig is rich. Craig just got paid.
Yeah.
Get ready for Craig to make it rain. Because it gets pink. He's throwing pink.
He's throwing pink stats out
He's
there.
throwing
dude.
pink stats.
When that chat money turns pink, what up?
Craig's all up in the chat.
2 in the pink.
Rich.
But yeah, I think you in an Uber with Delco would be everyone's worst nightmare going there because he wouldn't care. And he'd be watching golf the entire time from the Mexico Open, or where is it at this week?
It's Carolina.
There you go.
But I've
Wells
done
Fargo.
this before, so,
Not without me. I've been there for both children.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I've done the whole process before, so, it
Yeah,
wouldn't
you're good.
It wouldn't be too bad. I would just need, like, someone there because I'm a woman and I can't do nothing by myself.
Watched the Met Gala last night, Jabes, you and I. Mostly, I'll tell you why I watched it, because you came home and you gave me this look over your shoulder of like, oh, fuck, is he going to be into this? Or like, are we cool? And I was, and the reason being is this. I enjoy, right now, especially during this time that we're in, I enjoy super rich celebrities who are so oblivious to the fact that there's inflation going on and we're at the highest food prices, gas prices, all this shit. And they're like, you know what? I don't care. I'm important enough that I want to dress like I'm from 1910, from the Gilded Age, and then come out and have everybody talk about my fucking dress.
Wasn't, what's her face, Ocasio? Didn't she come in that
AOC?
AOC?
Oh, was she there last night?
No.
No, she did two years
right,
ago.
Bob, but that was the one where
that was
she
the
wore
tax
that
the rich
dress.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. So
Correct.
stuff like that.
So
and you're just like,
guess who it was last night?
even when they do have a message, it's still just like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah, guess who it was last night, politician-wise?
Oh, what?
Hillary Clinton. Now, I've said on Drinking Bros numerous times, I think she's going to run again in 2024. Bob, if you can pull up her dress. So this is what got me about Hillary Clinton's dress. And we'll go through all the people, because it's fun. And we're doing light things today, Jabes, because celebrities are more important than anything else that's going on.
For sure.
And we need to share this with the world. So there's Hillary Clinton's dress. Let's go full screen with that, Bob.
Yeah, it says snitches get stitches.
It sure doesn't. Sure doesn't.
But yeah, she's not making a statement though.
Zoom in. So zoom into the top. Now,
Oh.
what she's got sewn in there is famous women in history. Now, one of the names she has on her dress at the Met Gala for the Gilded Age is Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me. Look, this is just maybe because I wasn't alive back then. I would have probably imagined that Harriet Tubman probably wasn't too stoked right around that period of time. And to wear that
What?
at a gala where you're just like, you know what? Harriet Tubman is a super important person to me. You know where the best way to honor her is right here on my chest. Just right here on my chest on my fucking $200,000 dress that was hand-stitched. And then the guy behind her is wearing a mask and she's maskless and just helping her carry this train of things. For Harriet Tubman, Bob, who else was on her dress? There was a bunch of famous...
powerful women, right?
Sure.
It's kind of hard to read. Elizabeth Blackwell,
If you just Google it.
Clara Barton.
Yeah.
No.
Man, the other one's hard to read. Yeah. I'll Google who was on her dress.
Yeah, there was a bunch of famous women there. And, man, she's not here to ask this question, although I would have loved to. I would have loved to sit down with H. Tubbs, Harriet Tubman, and just be like, hey, what'd you think of the Met Gala tonight?
Yeah. No.
Look, I know everything you went through in slavery and like you were beaten and killed and like almost killed and all that stuff. How do you feel about the Met Gala
No,
tonight?
but it's the same with every little gesture like this. I saw this great video/meme of every time an influencer puts a Ukrainian flag on their feed, and then it's just a picture of like everything that was blown up just like coming back together. And like, that's the thing. It's just like, yeah.
Oh, boy.
You did your thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Who else is on there? Is it all black people?
No.
Okay.
Other ones include, there was a lot apparently, but other ones included her mom, Dorothy Rodham,
Okay.
Lady Bird Johnson, Austin's own.
Yeah, Austin's own Lady Bird Johnson. I love the lake. Is it the lake or the river?
It's a river that they call a lake.
It's a
She
damned
fucking
lake.
partied.
Partied Lady Bird.
And then Rosa Parks, that type of stuff.
Oh, is Rosa on there too, huh? She would have loved this. The
Yeah.
Met Gala.
I think she would have appreciated what I appreciated.
Did Hillary
about
take a
it.
bus there or no? Where did she sit on it if she did? That would be very telling.
No. What do you need her to Jared Leto it, or can she just put the fucking
Go
things
method.
on there?
Go method and live to be a part of the journey or whatever they say on Instagram.
What I do like about it is just the blatant, good-looking people being good-looking. Like, it's been a while.
Yeah, I guess. One that I will
It's been a
say,
while since you could just be fucking hot and see a bunch of fucking hot people.
Lizzo usually has her asshole hanging out in every photo now because you said she's got a lingerie line.
It's sort of like a Skims for bigger gals.
Sure.
A more inclusive Skims. Although Skims is actually inclusive, but anyways, Lizzo did her own.
Lizzo last night, you can pop up that picture. She played a flute on the carpet.
I like that.
So do I. That
I
at
like
least
that.
takes away from, you can pop that
And
that
she
picture up.
understood the assignment. Like, that's Gilded Age. A lot of people did not.
No, so Gilded Age is, early 1900s. I don't understand why Kim Kardashian dressed up as Marilyn Monroe.
So look, they did sort of, if you look at the actual theme, it's Gilded Age with like a sub-theme of Americana, right? Which I've never seen a Met Gala have like
I've never even heard of it.
an extra theme. It's usually just like a theme.
Sure.
So when it first came out, it was Gilded Age, and it was like, yeah, let's fucking go. Like, go over the top. Like,
Sure.
Marie Antoinette, shit.
Yeah.
But then they kind of added this Americana, Hollywood in America anthology of
Hollywood
fashion.
didn't exist then, so
Anyways, so there was just a little bit of a
messaging problem
Yes.
is what we call that in the biz.
yes. So basically, it was wear whatever you want
Yep.
and it'll work. because you're in America.
Exactly. Since we're talking about the Kardashian, we can show her and bring up her and Pete Davidson. This guy, we know this on the show. I've been done with this guy since he started, since birth. I don't know if we could go back to his grandfather, but I'm over him as well. Like the whole lineage of the Davidson family, I'm all good with. Besides the father, who is an actual hero, and then you have this fucking kid. I don't really know, Kim. Do you want to take a photo, or I'll just wait on the side? Put this goober up full screen. There is nothing you can do to this guy. You cannot dress him up. You cannot do anything to make this guy look good-looking and appealing to a mass audience. And it just does not fit. This is classic Beauty and the Beast shit. This is like the fucking new guy, to be honest with you. It's DJ Qualls and then Eliza Dushku. There is no world that this exists in this life that we should ever be forced to see this and pretend that we're like, you know what? They work. God damn it, it just works. You know what I'm saying?
We all know your hatred. I'm fine with him.
Okay. Were you fine with his outfit, or were you fine with the fact that he got all of Kim and Kanye's kids initialed in a tattoo on his fucking neck 2 days ago?
Problematic. That's problematic.
Whoa, dude. I mean, the branding thing with Kim on his chest was a lot.
Yeah.
That was still a lot, where you're like, okay, that's fire in your skin with iron. Now you're getting children's names tattooed on your fucking neck. What?
Right.
Man, I'm not saying Kanye should murder somebody, but if he did.
But it is
it
is a sick burn to Kanye, though.
But that's kids' names at this point. Like
initials. It's
off.
TBD. We don't know what it means.
Yeah.
He could tell us it stands for something else.
Sure. When you're putting other children's initials that aren't yours on your body to someone you just started dating about 3 months ago, it's real fucking problematic. The brand was problematic. When this relationship ends, I'm sure that might be the end of him as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you live on this earth after that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what's the explanation for the next girlfriend, right? Because we all know this isn't going to last. When it goes to the next girlfriend, do you say, hey, made some bad decisions in my last relationship? Yeah, I know, because you got someone's kids tattooed on your neck.
No, he classically has tattoos from like every relationship. Ariana, right? He's the Johnny Depp in that way.
Oh, is he?
And then he gets it covered up with a mega pint.
I mean, he has so many tattoos that doesn't really.
It's literally like writing it.
Out, yeah.
It's writing it on a piece of paper. He might as well have just written it on a piece of paper and thrown it in the trash. I mean, it's not anything.
Here's the wild thing to me, right? Let's say you took 2 inches off of Delco's beard and just made it respectable. Made it a respectable beard because he can't grow one. No, but a good 2 inches off, right? And he showed up in a tuxedo at the Met Gala with Kim Kardashian. No one would bat an eye about that.
Yeah.
Just appearance-wise, okay? We don't have to know anything about Delco other than what he looks like on the red carpet next to Kim Kardashian. He fits in.
And I think we established
Pete
last
Davidson,
show that was the most interesting thing about you.
Who?
I was just fucking with him.
With his beard?
No, with Delco, he's like, is that all you think of me? I'm like, well, you work out. I don't know what else to say about you.
Yeah, but that fits, right? That's a physical thing that fits. This looks like you stole someone from Roswell in 1947. You pulled him right out of the ship and you put a pair of fucking sunglasses on the alien and let him walk down the red carpet in front of a million people. Like, I don't get it. I will never get it. And I'm sure it will be over shortly. But in the meantime, every time he pops up and it's just this like shit-eating like deuces fucking pose on the side. Did you see that one last night? We were just like, oh my God, who let him in? And maybe he's in on it. And if he comes out and says it of like, dude, I knew what was going on during the whole time and I was just fucking in on it and I'm just giving people
seems
dudes.
like
I'm not sure.
he just goes and supports her and like is not trying to Kanye her. And that's kind of just like what she's about right now, where it's like someone that's going to literally just puppy dog around me instead of like make me wear black, a complete black thing over my whole face and body and hands and feet. I can't go to the bathroom, but okay, Kanye,
But it's cool. It's really fucking cool.
Sure. But now she's like, this is what I'm doing. And I've got my little puppy dog and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wild world we live in. Yeah. The hair, did she dye that blonde?
Yeah. I mean, who knows? They all wear wigs every day or whatever, but, interesting. The hair looked like something got messed up. And it was an afterthought. I don't know if she burned it all off or what. But if you're Marilyn, you do that little short bob. Because she has a short bob.
Yeah.
With its a little bun in the back.
Yeah,
but
makes no sense.
But look. So this was the actual dress. So she changed at the bottom of the stairs into it. It's the actual dress that Marilyn Monroe...
This is?
Yes. Wore when she was singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
How did she get it?
So they let her use it, but this is what she had to do.
Whoa.
So she had to change at the bottom of the stairs, go up to the top, and then they had another room where she changed out of it and got into a different dress.
So how did her ass fit in the dress and her tits?
Asses are going out a little bit as big as hers were. So hers has been shrinking for a little while.
What do? Do you take that out? You take out the injections?
Yeah, you either stop putting the fat back there, like fat transfer,
okay,
or you get it taken out, or whatever you do. But, yeah.
It's good to know. You know, I want to know these things. By the way, Bill Schofield just gave 20 for airline as a fireball for me to sneak inside the hospital. And I appreciate that because you do need a couple drinks in there.
Yeah, but I think you can just bring them in.
You can.
Yeah, they don't have secured.
Right, but he's just throwing a 20 at it, saying,
"Oh,
hey,
thanks.
dude, first fireball's on me," and I appreciate that.
Aw, that's
I
nice.
still get down on fireball airliners. We were at a party
Of course you do.
very recently, and somebody brought those out.
The bucket.
Yeah. Where was that? Was that here in North Carolina?
It was North Carolina.
I appreciated it. I really did. I still do.
love when that bucket comes out.
I still do. It's a nice thing. It's a nice little surprise. Jared Leto came out last night with a guy who looked identical to him.
The Met Gala is the only place that I like Jared Leto. Can I be clear?
Sure, and I understand that.
It's the only place
Bob,
where...
find Jared Leto and pop that up from the Met Gala last night. The leather gloves were a fun touch.
The whole thing. Well, now first, you can put up...
no, that's not him, actually. So you can put that guy up first.
Put that up because
put the guy up first.
For E! Entertainment did literally the worst commentary that you can do. The most pussified shit. They didn't say anything bad about anything. They left it up to the audience. It was just a fucking pile of shit.
I found out the answer to that, by the way. I did.
Yeah,
for
because
real.
we can't do Fashion Police.
Julia Rancic.
It was a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the days of Fashion Police are over. We're not allowed to say anything bad about anyone.
Correct.
So they have this guy up.
Yeah, pop this guy up, Bob, real quick. So
and
this
they kept
guy,
saying,
for 15 minutes, they said it was Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, he always brings it. Look, I mean, they spent blah, blah, blah talking about it. And there's one girl on the panel, including me, I'm like yelling at the TV. That's not fucking Jared Leto. By the way, I know Jared Leto, and I know Jared Leto in a prosthetic. He doesn't have that. He doesn't, I mean, that's not Jared Leto. And then this one girl on the panel kind of like sheepishly is like, hey guys, I don't think that's Jared Leto. And they're all like, yes, it is. Stop it. Shut up. And they were like, no, I don't think it is. So they come back for break. Oh, sorry, guys. We're not gaslighting you. That wasn't Jared Leto. It was some foreign director, whatever.
Some little slapdick foreign director. And but it did look like him. So I understand the confusion.
And I think when
somebody could have confirmed that, you know?
You're so unrecognizable all the time. People kind of forget what you actually look like, right? And so they saw the blonde, slick back hair, and they thought, Fight Club days, I don't know.
Sure.
But anyways, Jared Leto would never wear something so tame
There's
as that
the
metal
real
thing.
Jared Leto from last night. And
then he came with...
Can I be honest? I like it. I like it.
No, I like it a lot, but he came with, can we get the twin?
Yeah,
with?
Who was the guy that it looked like his identical twin that was there?
So he brought someone dressed exactly like him to walk the carpet with him. And
that was fun.
when I say Jared Leto kills the Met Gala every single fucking time, this is what it's about. It's about weird shit. It's about over the top.
Yeah.
It's about being like, what?
Yeah.
And as much as I hate him,
He's born for this.
I might join the cult.
He's born for this, for sure.
I might join the cult. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's born for this, for sure. So,
wasn't it last time he was carrying a head of his own head?
yeah, he was carrying his own head. Yeah, he was
it
Jesus. So it was great.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and because if Jesus was going to come back, he'd come back to the Met Gala.
Yeah.
You know, and Leto is he should be hosting this show.
Yeah. It was Blake Lively and Ryan.
That was the next one I was going to tell you to pull up. Her dress changed colors last night, and that was a real fun thing for everyone. And look, I know Blake, obviously, she is super nice and super boring. Like, so there's there's nothing wrong with that at all. She's very pretty, but
there
it's not.
Should be memes of
it's not a
people,
crazy personality.
There should be memes of people like losing their mind when her dress comes down.
Oh, it was him. So Ryan Reynolds did his own meme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did it last night.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How this guy is so self-aware about everything, by the way, and is able to capture it right on this. Have you seen his commercials for Mint Mobile and all that shit? Like
all of it.
He does it right at the exact time every time. I don't know who's running his team, but it's great.
I think it's just him, man.
No. He's got a whole team of people.
Yeah, but
he's very cool.
That's just him.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, he's got writers for Twitter and all that other shit. I'm not going to spoil all the secrets, but and he's got a full team to make sure all this branding and messaging is on point to the fact that like nobody would really take the risk that he takes, like the Peloton.
But he's in charge of it, and he does 100%. Interviews, and you can't fake being like clever and funny and self-aware and all of that. So he definitely is, and he's in charge, and he may have some help, but. Yeah, exactly.
Look, I argue when you get to that level, you should. Right. You should. I know Kevin Hart travels with like 3 or 4 writers at all times everywhere he goes. You should. If you're at that level, fuck, man. And social media means that much to you. I don't see anything wrong with it. Same thing with like ghostwriters and songs. Bless you. Come on, Jabes. Same thing with ghostwriters for like rap songs. They're like, Jake's kind of ghostwriter. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I just want it to be great. Ryan Reynolds, I don't give a fuck who's writing that shit.
Right.
He's great. Who cares? Right. Just be great. That's all. Fuck, if I could have a team of writers rolling with me all the time, that'd be dope as shit.
It's kind of like the equivalent of like let all baseball players do steroids.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh, Bob, how was the game with your baby? I could not believe that you brought that baby and he was fine.
He was fine.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, we had to leave in the 5th just because it was like 8 o'clock or something like that at that point.
5th.
What?
The
5th inning.
That's a complete game. That's a official game.
Was the score high enough that you felt
confident
or low enough?
The Braves were playing shitty enough that I felt confident.
That they weren't coming back.
Yeah, they didn't look good.
Totally worth it to go for 5 innings.
Well, we got there at like
leave at 8.
We got there at like 4, so we saw like batting practice and had beers and like.
It was the Rangers, right?
Yeah.
You went
it's
at
a blast
dad
of a stadium. That's a fun stadium.
He pulled a dad move.
Dad
beat
time.
The traffic.
Oh my gosh, there was no traffic. It was incredible.
And then guys, hey family, if we leave around the 5th, right?
Those are Dodgers fans. You just described yourself as a Dodgers fan right there.
Oh yeah.
Get there in the 3rd, leave in the 5th.
Watch the rest at the shortstop bar around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Good to go, no traffic.
That's a fun stadium, but I was telling Bob this last night after the show. I was like, man, the fact that his baby was so chill to do that.
I know.
We have a 3-year-old who's our youngest, currently for probably 2 more days. And I still can't take him to a baseball game, a movie. It's just, you went to the movies last time. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom. Look at that. He opened the door.
He opened the door. Where's
Screaming
the
at the top of his lungs.
I will say, I mean, he may be able to go to a baseball game now, but
not one prayer.
Well, 1 inning. Do you know what I mean? Like, I only have a little bit of time.
If it's Bob's baby versus our 3-year-old, my money's on Bob's baby lasting longer.
Always, dude. Remember at the party? Like,
yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Just chillin' the entire time. Chillin'.
There are
Love it.
people. Oh, who am I getting a text from? Fucking Air Force One. What's up, dude? Sorry, I just got back from the White House. You get it.
We know.
Usually nobody texts me because we're all live, but yeah, homeboy was like, "God damn, dude, you were in there, like for real." He was worked for Air Force One under Trump and then just retired, but he was like, "Fuck, you were really there." Like, yeah,
Yes.
it was real. It was fun. It was a fun time. One of my favorites, by the way, Justin Bartha. I would love to have him on the show. Jay Bartz is what I called him the entire weekend, and
Just a couple of
no, he
frat-
hated it. He hated it.
Of course.
Yeah. He definitely hated it.
Was he in a frat or was he
No, I
always
doubt it.
actor? Okay.
I doubt it. Very, very dry, funny guy. Like,
Yeah.
that's like a fucking homie where you're just like, oh man, just the subtle digs.
Yeah.
Subtle digs. Got on the bus on the way back because you take shuttles to a lot of these places.
I wouldn't know.
No, I know you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You were invited though. You could have gone, but you decided to have a kid. So, I'll get invited back. It's fine. It's totally fine.
I doubt.
No, I will. I crush. And they have meetings afterwards with like lobbyists and shit, and they'll tell you how you do. You get a score rating. I heard mine was very high. Either way, Jabes. Homeboy stops me in one of just a subtle classic move because I was fucking with him all weekend.
Sure.
And he just looks at me on the bus and he goes, and then he fixes my collar for me on both sides, pops it, and then just walks off. And I go, you son of a bitch.
You just straightened your tie.
Yeah, he just fucking dressed me down, dude, right there. And I go, it's subtle, and I appreciate it.
He hates you.
And he started
No,
dying. He
just
started
joking.
dying laughing. He was just like, really funny. Dude. No social media out of that guy. You want to talk about somebody who's living their best life? No social media, nothing. Lives in New York, not even in LA, and you're just like, fuck you, dude. Could you be any cooler?
It kind of sounded like a bunch of like actors, musicians, like we used to. Bob knows because he's a theater kid.
Sure.
But those kind of experiences where you're like doing something together just for like a couple days, you really bond,
No, and I'll tell you why, sort of. Like, because there was the theater kids. There was a couple. I'm not going to say who they were who just over the top, and it was like, I'm all good.
Right. No, I know,
too
but
much
that's
for me.
always, well, the same thing would happen with us. We're like, I'm not really over the top, so I would find the other person that was
You
like,
aren't?
fuck this
Right,
shit.
right,
and then you guys kind of
Right.
bond, and you have this fun little like
Yeah.
theater weekend,
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
actor weekend.
It was just
and I'm happy for you.
It was a great group of personalities all the way around. No, not just actors. The CEOs that I was with were really funny and self-depreciating and everything else, and we were just like, oh, all right, cool. Everybody was really witty and fun.
Right.
And then, the few that weren't, they just weren't invited to like the cool shit. So whatever.
Right.
Just kind of like life. But it was fun. And I can tell you this, because again, we are going to talk about this on Drinking Bros today. We have a massive show today. It is Dave Rubin is on the show today. And we're going to get into the abortion thing, the Roe v. Wade thing. But having been there and talking to everybody, I can promise you with everything inside of me, no one knew this was coming. So during the Met Gala last night, when that news dropped, nobody knew that on Capitol Hill. No one like that clearly was out of nowhere. And I know the guy who broke the story has now become like an overnight celebrity for breaking that story. But we will get into that this afternoon. A little bit later start on Drinking Bros today, which is why we went a little later today, because I think that interview's at 3, and usually we do them at 2 o'clock. And obviously that is Central Time. We got some sponsors that put this show on the air, so we'll get to those right now. Before we hop back into the rest of the madness out there, ghostbed.com/Drinking Bros. 40% off that bundle package. Have a little baby inside that bed. I'm now sleeping in a different room because James is so uncomfortable. So we want to give Ghostbed a shout out, because if we didn't have that adjustable base, like how miserable would you be?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're going feet, head up, everything else. Like in the end stages, like if we didn't have that adjustable base, it'd be bad news.
Not to brag, but you have heartburn, swollen feet.
There you go.
Right?
Yep.
Sweaty.
Humble brag.
I know. Sorry, guys. It's life of luxury. But the ghost bed, definitely, I don't know I would be on like 100 pillows on either side.
Probably, yeah.
So you get to make your own super luxury hospital bed almost. Yeah. I hate to say it like that, but if hospital beds were comfortable, like the angles that they can go, it's great.
Sure.
Anyways.
If you want 2 free pillows with a mattress, that deal is still going on right now. Look, Ghost Bed, one of the greatest companies there is. Their IT department, they're dumb. They're really dumb. Take advantage of them. Right, go get the fucking deals while they're still up, because usually it's like, I'll get a message that it's like, it's a 2-week thing. And that dummy in IT, and I met him. I had dinner with him. Oh. Dumb. Real dumb, that guy. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I can honestly, I was like, what is your fucking story? No lie. It was one of those people, well, I'll say the promo code real quick, but go to ghostbed.com/drinking today.
Slam there.
I don't give a shit. He knows better. I told him in person. I was like, do you just fall asleep on these deals? Like, what the fuck, man? People are just taking advantage of you. Do it. I say exploit the system. Who gives a shit? Go to ghostbed.com/drinking today. You can get a 60-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest there. And all those deals are good with that, so fuck that guy. But yeah, we went to dinner, and I said, hey, dude, do you just leave these up intentionally, or what are you tinkering with that you're too busy to take it down? Because we'll get the messages of how long it lasts. And he was just like, oh, well, I'm busy doing things. And I was like, what the fuck are you so... Whenever I hear that, I'm like, what are you so busy doing?
You never know.
You don't. And so you ask, right? And I'm a human, host of numerous podcasts. Some might say the Ryan Seacrest of podcast. So I asked him the question, what the fuck do you do all day that you can't take down those deals in a proper manner? And he's just like, well, I got kids. I was like, great, we got kids. What else? Well, we go to the movies, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And then we had one of those conversations where he was just like, what movies have you been in? My friend says you've been in a bunch of movies. Oh, and I go, man, I hate having this conversation.
That's fine.
Oh, because you know exactly where it went, right?
Well,
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. And I go, hey, hombre, I can go through about 30 movies right now. So tell me, I go, help me help you so we can end this conversation. What's the last movie you've seen?
Yeah.
Iron Man 2. And I was like, that is not going to work for this conversation.
Well, you could just be like, I wasn't in that, so we can just end this conversation.
That's exactly what happened. I go, wasn't in that, so we can just end this conversation, right? And
right.
The dinner keeps going on, obviously, and we're enjoying our life, having some beers. And Dummy is on his phone in the corner, and I know exactly what he's doing.
Right.
He's just going through IMDb or whatever, and then he goes, it's just 30 minutes later, shit, accepted. Fuck, I saw that movie.
Yeah.
He looked different. Yeah, it's 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. Yeah. So nothing I can do for you. But I go, looking forward to that Iron Man audition this weekend. What are we on, number 8? Yeah. And that was a fun journey that we had together. So, in honor of that guy, exploit him. Take advantage of his weaknesses. Get the fucking deals at GhostBed. And move on with your life. Yeah, spread the word. Tell your friends that guy fell asleep in the fucking control room. Iron Man 2. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Oh, you saw that?
That was freaking 15 years ago.
Yeah, I knew. And he was one of those guys who was like, man, I know movies. Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
I'm a film
says that.
buff. yeah, I'm a film buff.
Oh, are you? When's the last movie? Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. Haven't been since.
Go ahead and buff out that iron. Yeah. Because you were living in a costume from another fucking time, hombre.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. Take advantage of the deals. Fucking who gives a shit? Trying to go to the next page here because we're in May now. Are we in fucking May already?
Yeah, we just have Hard AF Seltzer.
Bitch. HardAFSeltzer.com. Look, it's right here. It's right on the desk. So we're selling out of this like extremely quickly. I've got investor meetings like out of the ass for this. It's the greatest seltzer of all time, and I'm proud to say that because we worked our ass off to make it like that. And even this call that I have for this meeting tonight for this dinner, the guy was like, I don't understand how you made 8% taste like this. And he goes, that's the biggest thing that we're having a hard time with now, or whatever. And I was like,
shout out to
Doug and Chris and at Tactical Brewery. Those guys are the fucking best, and they figured out the formula, and we did it. And there's been a lot of interest, and it's flying off the fucking shelves. That being said, get it now because we got some new OG flavors coming out, and I just approved them. And then there's one more coming next week. The Watermelon is coming next week, so nice. I'm amped for that one. And there will be new flavors, and in the summer, early fall. Go to hardafseltzer.com, 8% right to the dome. Peach, blue raspberry, lemon lime, and strawberry shortcake. We deliver to 42 states. It just dropped off at your door, and it's a fucking party. It's a full case. It's 24 cans. And if you can get past 6, well, hit me up. Let me know.
Yeah, fuck.
We had a listener do that when I said that challenge the other day on Drinking Bros. So he drank 6, and he sent me this video. Hey, I'm having a good time, and I'm fine off 6. And I was like, whoa, you're not fine. And then the next day he goes, in a message, he goes, hey man, I'm super sorry. I don't even remember sending that video last night. I just blacked out. I wasn't fine.
Yeah. P.S. I wasn't fine.
He goes, you guys were not lying about this. And I was like, yeah. And that's the fucking gig. I don't want you to drink a 12-pack of shit and just roll around all day. It's too much.
That's why it's, I know the price point right now, it will go down. The price
It'll go down,
yeah. It feels high, but again, you're not drinking them all at once. It is definitely a sipper. You bring it out, you let people try it.
Yeah.
It's, it will last you once you figure out your tolerance, which, by the way, everyone, you don't have the tolerance you think you do. So once you figure out your tolerance, it's just like a fun pass around, let people taste it.
Yeah, it's a blast.
In between stuff, don't pound 6. That's all.
Yeah. That Kardashian dress, by the way, was $5 million.
Yes, because it's the actual. So you can't,
I'm surprised there's a price tag on it, right?
Yeah.
Because you and I just watched that doc on
know.
Netflix. I was looking for the price of this thing, $5 million for that dress. Jesus Christ.
I wonder if it was bought, that's how much it was bought for. It's at the Met. I don't know. I'm
not sure. But you and I just watched that Marilyn Monroe doc the other night on Netflix.
It was good.
It was good, actually. And I think, this is a guess, and I've never seen this done before, but it looked like they cast
they did.
actors to read, and then they colored it as if those were the real people from 1960s and 70s doing it. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. So we tried to watch a documentary like this a while ago on Eric Clapton, where all they had was audio.
It was awful.
And it was awful because it was you're only hearing him talk, and then it's weird using the same pictures, and they did some cartoon stuff, which I hate. So with the Maryland one, all they had was audio, but they definitely cast it like they had video of people talking on the phone to each other. And it was this one reporter that had all of these audio tapes. So it was done really well, and it was super interesting, stitched together with good footage of her that's not stuff that you've seen a million times, because everyone knows the you know what I mean? The Marilyn Monroe footage.
Sure.
So finding different ones like that was done really well.
Yeah, it was good, and she was definitely murdered. Can we just cut to the chase there on that one? Probably. Definitely murdered. Too many people. Too many interviews. They had it. They had all the shit. The one tapes that I wish I could play on this show, because I had them for a while, and now I just get the letters, was when my dad interviewed James Earl Ray in prison, the guy who shot Martin Luther King, because he didn't do that either. And it's clear from those tapes. And I wish we could apply the same techniques and play those tapes with, cast an actor to be James Earl Ray and go through that footage like that. That was a really fascinating way to do it. And, when you hear it, it makes total sense. Now, the James Earl Ray thing, they actually did a trial on Fox. I don't know if you remember this. It was in the late 90s with the King family. And they were like, oh, yeah, you were innocent in this fucking thing. With the Marilyn Monroe thing now, I guess there's timestamps on when they can release some of the interviews and some of the shit, and so more and more of it keeps coming out. Because they push it 50 years, and then they're like, all right, great, now we can release it. Same with the JFK assassination.
Sure.
So with that, I think she was clearly murdered. You?
You'd have to define murder, right? Did you just harass and completely annihilate a woman until she...
I think somebody forced her to take all those pills. Gun to head and said, hey, you're boozing up and we're going to make you take these, and that's it.
It'd be different if she wasn't already kind of doing that before. I hear you, though. I hear you.
Yeah.
But she was definitely spiraling as far as on set and drinking, doing uppers, downers, drinking, like hungover, like just going downhill to that point. But I do hear you.
The crazy thing to me is I didn't know both of them were fucking her. I didn't know both JFK and RFK were fucking
mostly, her. Yeah, well, it was mostly, it started with RFK, right?
Started with JFK, and then RFK was the one who kept going back. And and then she ended up calling the White House, and that was the final straw. Or they were like, so she called the White House to talk to JFK about his brother and was just like, get this fucking guy out of here. I'm tired of dealing with it. And that was the final straw in the doc when you see it, when you're just like, oh, shit. Another one that I'll be curious about later on down the road, because I was like, all right, what else could you do with this? Because I thought that concept and the way they shot it was really interesting. I would love to see one on Kurt Cobain because of having that doctor on the show. When we had Dr. Cyril Wecht on, I don't know how many years ago that was. Were you guys here for that? Was that your time? No. Okay.
I was here.
Yeah, I think you were here.
I think they've done a bunch on Nirvana, though.
Yeah, they have. But I would like to put the doctors and then those police notes with it. So that was another one, which if you look or, just Google it, the Seattle PD has sealed those records for 25 years. Why? If there's nothing to hide, why? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe, and just the way the weapon was and everything else, like, it'd be cool to go through those interviews. And then whoever the police interviewed to get to that point and what actually happened, I think that would be fun, shot that exact way. But it was a super interesting take on a documentary of people that aren't alive anymore because they aren't there. And the way they cast them sure as fuck made it look like I didn't think it kicked into me until like 15 minutes in, where I was just like, wait a minute. How do they have this many interviews from 1972?
It was a very what about the guy moment for you.
It was.
Because it was like, oh, you think there was a camera in every one of their houses while they were talking on the phone with this journalist?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know if maybe they were shooting a documentary on it or there was footage from the government beforehand, like maybe they were trying to solve the crime or something.
Right.
Because both were assassinated at that point. So I was like, all right, well, maybe they went back afterwards and they knew the story, but they wanted to get the real story, and clearly that was not the case. Elon G just threw a tenner at us for orange soda. Please consider flavor. I took a sip. I take a sip every time Deeren cleared his throat.
That's good. Orange soda for seltzer?
So this is not a sponsor, but I'm drinking this Ghost right now. They have an orange creamsicle that is here, and that was really fucking good. So if you did an orange creamsicle flavor, that is actually a really great idea. Elon G and I will hit them up about that.
I like it.
Because I got a list of flavors, and I'll go back and look and see if that was one of them. But that is a really great idea, because that orange fucking creamsicle thing I had from Ghost, it's incredible.
I would like to throw out root beer float instead.
All right, so
now that would be hard to do subtly, wouldn't it?
It would not, and I'll tell you why. So my buddy did Not Your Father's root beer.
Oh, right, but that was very strong root beer flavor.
It was, and there was.
And that's what you wanted from it.
And it had not too much sugar, but it had a decent amount of carbs and sugar in it. We don't have carbs and sugars in ours, and I think that's the allure of seltzers. So I don't know that you could put it off, but you could put a hint of that in there for sure.
The essence.
But I don't know how you beat Not Your Father's root beer, because I'm a huge fan of those guys. That summer, do you remember that summer?
Yeah, you should do a whole line of like root beer float, creamsicle.
Yeah. But do you remember that summer they put out a 14%, and it was hidden all over the country? And,
14% of
Not Your Father's root beer.
No.
Yeah. So they put it in one of those big boy bottles, one of those fat boy bottles, And I found it next to your mom's house at that little tiny convenience store across from the grocery store.
That has like all specialty. The attitude adjustment.
I don't know what it was. It was like wooden and kind of like hidden in the woods. It looked like a Boo Radley house. That's where I found that, and I was like, oh man, this place is fucking. And I found, I was like, oh my god, I want to. Do you have any more of these? And they're like, no, this is it. And it was cold, so I was like, well, looks like I'm gonna drink this right here, right now.
Right.
And it was the greatest. But I'm a huge fan of Not Your Father's Root Beer. I love it. I think it's seasonal. I don't know how they get away with it. I don't know anybody who can just be like, I'm just going to turn off 2 full seasons and just kind of do this.
I mean,
and be fiscally
kind of makes sense.
successful.
Like, you know, eventually maybe we should just release in the summer, right?
Maybe certain flavors, but no.
Certain
we want to make
flavors.
money, it's Jesse. So
I thought we were just in it for the like generosity, the fun, the good times
Both.
we want to give to the people.
Well, I will.
No, I'm joking,
I
I'm
will say
joking.
this. I'll share this. I don't really care. Everything is pretty much an open book on this goddamn show, anyways. One of the calls I took this morning was there is an equity site that is like Indiegogo, where you let your audience buy equity in the company, and that helps fund the runs. And then they would own part of the seltzer, a percentage point of it, and then you send them free seltzer, like for the donation and everything else, and then you build a company like that.
No.
There was another beer, because they sent me a link to it. There was a brewery that did it, and they raised like a fuck ton of money, and I was just like,
So
holy
like
shit.
Bill is going to be my boss? No. Do you know what I mean? We've been down that road before.
Craigers would be your boss.
Craigers is my boss.
Bill, yeah. Kevin
Love
Walters.
you guys, but
Yeah.
don't tell me what to do.
It's super fascinating. And I was like, oh shit. So I'll do some more digging. But
It's a good idea.
well, they're doing it now. There was some beer company out of South Carolina that had raised like $5 million, and now they're in like 1 million stores. And that's why you get to cut the line, because you got to pay for aluminum.
Yeah.
So it was a fascinating idea. I don't know how much percentage of the company they gave, or how they do it, or what they cut it off at, but I'll do some more research on it. But it was an interesting phone call this morning. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that existed. And they were like, yeah. Startups are starting to do it in Silicon Valley and shit like that. You know why? Because they don't want unknown investors coming in and fucking everything up, where it's like, if it's your own people and they like your product, they're going to support it all the way. So nobody's going to fuck with you as far as changes or branding or notes and all that other shit. And it's like, you and I know that road.
Have you met Craigers?
Yeah.
He will have some opinions.
I want a black licorice seltzer. It's like, no, dude, no one would like that.
No, that's the only flavor we're going to have.
No one would like that.
Yeah. Can I talk about my favorite new love story?
Fire away.
So, Bob, can we pull up the Alabama prison officer allegedly helped a suspect killer escape from jail, and they might be in a romantic relationship.
Ooh.
They definitely are. I just have to. I don't know. I've heard this a lot the past couple days because they're still on the run. So Vicky White is the lady. Yep. So this is Vicky White. She's the corrections officer. She's been, I think, a 17-year veteran of
The police force?
corrections officer.
Okay.
And she's
She's CO, huh?
yeah.
All right.
So Casey White is this guy that, I guess she thought was worth risking it all, I have to say. So she...
Looks like Aaron Rodgers with a shorter haircut.
Older Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
that didn't see the sun for 20 years.
I don't know if he's seen the sun.
Yeah. So he's a suspect. He's in jail for murder. And then she was up for, I think she was retiring. This was all right before. She just sold her house for $95,000. So Alabama may be the last bastion where you can actually get real estate.
Oh yeah, you can get 900 acres if you want.
Yeah, so I don't even know how big that house was
And
for
a
that much. But
3,000
anyway,
square foot house.
Yeah, so she just sold her house. She was up for retirement, whatever, and she decided to risk it all for this guy. He's 6'9", so don't falter yet. Do you know what I mean?
It's very tall drink.
6'9", murderer.
Yeah.
They've been together in the jail for a while, making eyes, making plans. So she said that she had to take him to a court appearance that was not real. So they basically just took off from the jail. She had him in the back of her van and bye-bye. So they're still on the run. And I just have to say, I'm really rooting for these kids. Can we have them side by side again, Bob?
So are they still missing is the question?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a warrant out for her arrest, and then he's, in jail for murder. So, again, he has nothing
to lose.
Except for maybe,
love.
Right?
Yeah, he's got love.
Solitary for a very long time. I mean, there's not much more you can do to someone that's...
Okay, is it weird that I'm rooting for them?
No, that's what I just said. Like, this is the kind of just insanity. It kind of reminds me of who was the guy that took the plane and just like...
Bebo Russell.
Just got in.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something
Sky King.
Sky King.
Yeah.
There's just something so insane to me right now, and especially the way things are. Like, I just have to.
Okay, so can we go into
I have to admire
what the murder was and what the reasoning was? Now, because if it's a murder that I can justify, then I'm going to root for them even harder. Do we know what he was, what the circumstance was of the murder?
Okay, so Casey White has been arrested on 2 counts of capital murder in 2020.
He shot a dog.
No, that's not true.
He is the sole suspect in the killing of 59-year-old Connie Jane Ridgway, who was found dead in her Rogersville living room back in October of 2015 in a potential murder for hire. So he was hired. I'm guessing, what do you guys think? $5,000? He got a cool $5,000. They always do.
This feels like less in this area.
You think less?
I think maybe a cool
I thought
1K.
I thought it always had to be at least 5. Okay. I thought that was minimum going rate.
Yeah.
But what's the other murder? So Casey White. So that's 2 counts of capital murder.
Yeah, it said he'd been serving a 75-year sentence for a 2015 crime spree, including holding 6 people at gunpoint and shooting one of them and a dog.
And the dog. Okay, so who is so he shot, was it a couple and their dog?
I guess. It was one person and the dog, but he's holding
Well, the
6 people
dog
at
knew
gunpoint.
too much, so
he
probably killed them first, and then the dog was sitting there, and he was just like, fuck.
He was only hired to kill probably her, right?
So he was charged with 2 counts of capital murder and the stabbing death of Connie Ridgway. So he killed a woman, and then before that, I guess he had also. Dude, this is weird. I don't know what the situation is with this, but he's been doing a lot of stuff. Stabbing
is hard to get behind. Because that's...
stabbing is
if you can go and blow somebody's head off and they don't really know, and you're kind of in a John Wilkes Booth sitch, maybe, but, stabbing is like, man, you really want to kill someone.
Yeah, but it was 2015. He's a changed man,
7 years in the clink will do that to you. And the hooskow.
Yeah.
The pokey.
And she saw that, and she was like, I'm about to retire and get...
Pop up
my
that
pension.
pic. Oh no, she did this right before retirement.
Yes.
God damn it,
this is they might as well have stolen a plane and just flew it into.
She got them titties taped down too. I don't know what they're gonna do for money. What are you gonna do for money?
She has not. She just sold her house.
Yeah,
she has $95,000.
It's not gonna be enough money for anything.
For these two?
Come on.
They can. What are you talking about? Money for what?
You got to live the rest of your life.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, you just need to get away. You need to get down to what?
Mexico,
something like this.
A blonde woman's going to stick out in Mexico. Okay. So you got to go overseas, and that's not going to do it, man. That is not
We
going to
don't
do
know what she's done to her hair. We don't know what they look like right now.
Mm-hmm. They're just kind of young and in love and just, probably in Cancun. Carlos and Charlie's mixing it up.
Gosh, I want to see the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although I did already see
pop
this.
that pick up. So let's see. Aaron Rodgers is cast as the guy, and I think we go Amy Schumer for the CO, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if anyone saw Escape from Dannemora, which is kind of like this story, only not as like love story-ish.
With Rosanna Arquette?
Who's the other one? The big titty one. Who's the sister?
Patricia.
Yeah.
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia, who, by the way, cast her again.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Is
we
this based
kinda
on that?
did-
Like, Jesus.
No, that was a real story.
All right.
That already they made. So it's something that happens.
Okay. Man, that's intense. I like it. I'm rooting for him. I do believe he's a change man.
Yep.
Don't know him, obviously. But
I hate that
he
he
found
shot
love in
the
a hopeless
dog,
place. Well, the
though.
dog knew too much, so I'm okay with that. It's stabbing the people that I don't really
I know.
get.
It's such a
It's violence.
It's a lot.
That's violence.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Because then why shoot the dog? Like, if you didn't enjoy killing someone, unless that was the specifications of the murder itself, of like, hey, I'm going to pay you to kill this person, but I want them to go through a lot of pain, so I want you to stab them. And he's like, all right, that's going to be an extra $5.
Right.
An extra $5,000.
Or like tracing it back, like, the gun way easily traced than stabbing.
I guess, but like, if you're stabbing up people, right, why not just stab the dog, I guess?
I think
If you have a gun on you, why aren't you shooting the people and then the dog, and then you can clear those shells? I don't really understand it, but I understand the motive of these two now, and it's love.
And it's love, and like I like thinking about how fun it was for them to like plan it every day, like in jail, in prison.
And they were fucking in a janitor's closet, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's how it was at in the Dannemora story.
Yeah. That's the one scene that stood out for me too. When she had her fucking tits out in there, and you were just like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I just like the idea of just like, we want life. We are so tired of our boring ass Alabama life existence. We are going to crash this shit into the mountain. And on the way, we're going to have crazy sex. We're going to be on the run.
Yeah.
They know it's over, right? Or do they fucking get away? There's no way in hell.
Hang on. I don't think anybody ever thinks that it's over. I really don't. I think all of these people who leave and run away.
They can actually.
Well, let's break this down, right? She was about to get her pension, which sets her up for life at that point.
Right.
No matter where you work.
What life, though? You know what I mean? She was just like, I don't want to do
understand that,
it.
but she can be retired and at least be financially free and not have to be a fucking CEO, right? And then homeboy, obviously, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
Was the kanjis not enough of like...
He doesn't get...
Oh, that's right. He doesn't get him, right? He's a murderer. I don't think you get him.
Yeah, and he's not married, obviously, so he doesn't get him. But I don't know.
Right.
Certain states have weird laws with that, or,
You know
for
where
certain
else?
crimes, you can't get it. Yeah.
You know where else I think you could go is Portland, actually. I think you can go to Portland and get away with this. Spray paint your hair. Do a bunch of weird shit like that. Like,
why would you spray paint it and just not
so
dye
I
it?
watched, whatever you want to call it. I watched a story the other night where there was like Antifa in Portland, and they were allegedly beating up some people who were protesting the GOP, and they were like,
Okay, hide in plain sight. I hear you.
exactly. And they said it took 25 minutes for the cops to get here, and this was crazy. People were getting beat to death, and I was like, well, it's Portland. Nobody really wants to go down and deal with any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the play. I think that's the move now. Where, great, you want to shave your head, part of it, spray paint your shit, pierce a tit and a fucking nostril, take a baseball bat to shit, wear black everywhere. Nobody's
Right.
going to stop you.
Right.
Nobody's going to say anything. And I think you can just kind of live that life and then shack up in one of those old abandoned buildings that they've busted out the windows in. And then you can just kind of fuck. $95,000 will go a long way there. And it's a little bit of role play. You know, you got different colored hair. You got fucking fun boots on.
Yeah.
That go all the way up past your calf.
Well, for her too, like she can say possibly that she was forced to, threatened to, whatever. So she has that angle, although they did try that in Dannemora as well, and it didn't work. Because you have, eyewitnesses seeing you guys hanging out, talking, other COs are going to know about your weird relationship that you have. So she can probably try that a little bit.
Okay.
It won't work.
Right.
But that's probably what she's thinking. You're right. Like, there's no way that it's as interesting as these people just being like, let's just fucking drive it into, we're both going to die or we're both going to get shot or whatever. We're going to get caught. we're both going to be in prison for the rest of our lives, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that they actually think that. So you're right.
So the only time that I can think of in one of these crazy stories where everybody just takes out all their money and does something fucking nuts, there was a dude, and you guys probably covered this for TFM, maybe 10 years ago, who wanted to kill himself, pulled out everything in his bank account, went down to Mexico, did every drug you could imagine, fucked every prostitute you could, and he was going to OD at the end.
We had the movie rights for that.
Did you really? Shut the fuck up.
We hit up the guy, got the movie rights, and for a minute, BJ Novak was working on a script.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, I always loved that story, and it was so great. And so in the end...
Was he on the run for why would that be?
Well, so he wanted... I think he just wanted to end his life, right?
Leaving in Las Vegas style?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And like with
okay.
this, it's the same way, right? Because I think it has to end in death. Otherwise, you're just going to fucking jail again. Like... Right? Doesn't this have to end in death?
Right, but I think that
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like, look, I'm unhappy with my life. You're rotting in here. Let's just fucking blow it up.
Let's just do it, yeah.
Blow it up.
Yeah. So I think that's the same
And I love
sitch with Homeboy, where it was just like, all right, let's just fucking end our lives. What I think happened was he OD'd, and then when he came back to life, he found Jesus or whatever, and was just like, I want to live. I want to live.
He didn't even OD. He just like was like, oh, pleasure. I forgot what that was.
Really good time.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm good.
That's
that
a
what it
great
was?
endorsement. Like, oh, you hate your life? Like, get a bunch of drugs, go to Mexico, and start living. You know what I mean? Start loving life again.
Is there a picture of him? I never got to see it. Does he look like BJ Novak? Is that why he got involved?
I mean, it was like a Reddit thread. I don't know if his name ever actually came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was such a wild story. And the same way, because most of these things end in death, or they should at least, right? Or you're like, they're not going to get away forever.
No.
Not in today's day and age.
No.
There's just
I mean,
no way.
It would be the most amazing thing ever if they did.
Yeah.
But I don't. They did get a little bit of a head start because people are like, what? You know, because she had, you're thinking court date. No one was suspecting it. So they had some time. And then when they found out, it was like,
Whoopsies.
this
Whoopsie ding dong.
dunk town,
The title of the Reddit thread, I can't find a picture of him. The title of the Reddit thread is, traveled to Mexico to buy chemicals to humanely kill myself, bought a mound of cocaine, and spent a week fucking prostitutes 2 at a time.
Yeah. Greatest. It was one of the greatest stories I've ever read.
You guys still have the rights?
Yeah, what happened with that?
Oh, God, there's no way we have those rights still. I mean, it's not me that ever had it.
Right.
Because,
It was BJ Novak that's supposed to write it.
Oh,
got
gotcha.
But I mean, no, we had the rights. BJ Novak also was trying to get the rights, found out we had it, so then we kind of worked with him, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to work on it, and then that probably fell apart.
Gotcha.
Well, one that didn't fall apart and that actually got made was a bunch of listeners. So we have a private group on Facebook, an RPR private group on Facebook. There's like 1,100 people in it. And it's just a bunch of fucked up shit. Like, I'm sure it'll be banned soon, whatever.
Sure.
But it's really fucking fun, and it's shit that relates to the show and shit that's crazy and everything else. Somebody posted yesterday that story about the cocaine bear, the bear who took all that cocaine and fucking terrorized a town or whatever it was. The movie is done, and Elizabeth Banks is in it. And I think she directed it, too. And I was like...
She playing the bear? What? What other characters are there? Unrecognizable. It's the newest trend. She's
Elizabeth Banks as the bear.
The cocaine bear.
The cocaine bear.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've dropped a trailer, but somebody posted the movie poster.
Yeah, so the title of the film is Cocaine Bear. Here's the movie poster.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, it's so good. It's got a
right.
big cast. Who's in this?
Yeah, let me pull up the cast here. It's Carrie Russell, starring Carrie Russell, Ray Liotta,
Yes.
and then kind of drops off.
Did Elizabeth Banks? Well, wait, hang on. Did Elizabeth
direct
Banks?
it?
She directed or produced it?
She's directing.
Perfect.
Probably producing too.
It's
but-
going to be good then.
Perfect.
She's a good director.
Ray Liotta is
She directed the
definitely
Pitch
bear
Perfects.
then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of like an abstract.
If you put
Fun.
Ray Liotta and the word cocaine in anything, I'm in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's by the guy who wrote the Babysitter, which is a really funny Halloween movie, actually.
Oh yeah. Shit. All right. Damn, dude, this could be pretty good.
I'm in.
I'm amped for this. I'm amped for this. And I'm also amped for that couple on the run. Just know that we're rooting for you.
We're rooting for these crazy kids.
These-
We really want it to work out.
It's just Aaron Rodgers and Amy Schumer looking for love.
Right? And older.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone but Patricia Arquette. But
Do you ever look at people and you can smell their sex, like what their sex smells like? As soon as you guys popped up those photos, I could smell what that room smells like afterwards. I know that's strange, but it's true.
what you reckon? Cigarettes and like a metal?
Yep.
Like a penny?
The brown, the yellow
Like an old
fingers.
penny?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
yellow fingers in there, and you're like, oh man, it's musty, and you can still smell the smoke a little bit. There's an old Hardee's ashtray.
The pH balance is probably off a little bit.
Yeah.
Has to be. Has to be.
Yeah. Oh, man,
You're gross.
There's a little bit of stubble on those armpits too. Those juices will get in there. Oh, one of those old dirty hotels,
Spray deodorant.
Do the noise.
That's not really, that's more like a Windex, but.
Either way, I can smell
Yeah.
it. Ah,
Yeah.
it's inside me now. It's in my nostrils.
Anyways, I have to
Fun
go
way to end the
try
show.
and get this baby out, guys.
Let's do it. Let's have a Cinco baby this week, all right?
I'm trying to.
Cinco
but,
baby. Ryan Benchich says he just threw $5 and says he wants to see Dan Holloway play the cocaine bear. Look, I think that'd be an excellent casting choice. But I believe the movie has been shot. I believe it's been shot.
Yeah, but thank you for your input.
Yeah. No, but we appreciate
No,
that.
taking
Maybe they're doing
taking
ADR later.
suggestions. Yeah, still.
They're doing the voiceover for the bear later. We'll see. We'll see. Fun show, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. It is all the advertisers care about. I cannot say that enough. And go to Spotify and do the same. We are close to 1,000 reviews on Spotify already. And that's a big deal to the advertisers. The advertisers really give a shit. And I don't really know why. And it affects the charts, by the way. No lie. So they'll put shows up based on your ratings, and it was like, hey, if you look at the daily numbers, it's like, oh, well, we're where we should be at the top of the charts. And then it's like, everybody else is reviewing these other fucking shows, and you're just like, oh, fuck you. So go and just review the show. Rate it. All right. Well, I'll be your whore. You want me to be your fucking whore for you? I'll whore you. I'll whore you so hard. Just fucking rate it, review it, review it. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.